Hey guys, what's up? It is your boy Tim, and I'm sitting here on a beautiful. There's no clouds in the sky. I don't know if you want to quickly look at the sky. Show the sky. There's no clouds in the sky. It's a beautiful day out, and I'm in the middle of the park. And I just finished a wrap up with a student of mine about half an hour ago, and we were sitting and talking. We had some interesting conclusions. We had interesting debates and talks. It was follow up, so it wasn't active coaching. We were following up over a boot camp he had taken, and we had some awesome discussions, awesome insights, things kind of that I already thought about before, but he brought up again, and we had really gotten into some deep conversations. One of the things that we were talking about was the value systems between men and women, and how society has a certain set of values that says that's valuable for men, that women should like in a man, or a certain set of values that men should like in a woman. And how those values are sometimes distorted, and how learning pickup actually changes those values that you see within yourself. An example of this, what I mean is, pretty much the biggest thing I'm going to talk about is that society says, where does a man's value lie, right? It's in his job, it's in how much money he makes, it's in, I guess, if he has a nice car or not, if he's like super driven for success and things like that. And while all that's true, a lot of that actually comes from deeper core values that are inside of you that are what's attracted to the woman. So even though girls may think, or women may think, hey, I want a man who has an awesome job, you don't need to have an awesome job or lots of money to pick up a girl. You don't need to have an awesome job to take a girl on a date. You don't even need to spend a lot of money on a date. Again, example of this is dating, right? What does society say, for example, is a good date, right? Where a guy takes you to a fancy restaurant, spends a lot of money on their first date. That happens a lot, right? You see it in the movies, things like that. But I know this from experience, and all my buddies that pick up, my good buddies that pick up, know this completely to not be true, right? It's like, what is an awesome date? An awesome date is when you spend time with the girl, you create a connection, and often sex happens at the end, right? That's a great date. It's like a movie, and then sex at the end, as you all know who says. So it's like this interesting portrayal of what's valuable and what is not in society's eyes, and I think it's some bullshit. It's really sad how people feed into it, I think. And how guys nowadays have this little unrealistic idea of what is expected out of them from a woman. Not to say that what's expected out of them is any less by the pickup community standards, or by good standards, what's expected out of them is any less. It's different though, and I think it's more attainable and more realistic. Because if you're gonna actually go by what society says, it's like you really can't get the girl that you want. Why? Because it's based on money, or maybe even your appearance, things like that. In girls' cases, what does society say is valuable for a girl to have, right? To look good, to be sexy, I guess to have awesome body and show that shit. I like girls with awesome curves, and I like girls who show that shit too. But for me, you know what really attracts me in a woman? Girls who get my sarcasm, get that stuff. Like, I'll sleep with the hot girls, absolutely, no question about it, at the club. But the girls who are really going to hook me, who I'm really going to develop a long-lasting connection with, of course they have to be attractive. Of course, absolutely. I don't want fatty or whatever like that. But it has to be a girl that really connects with me on a deeper level, right? That understands who I am, that can accept my job, that can accept what I do, coaching guys how to pick up girls. And I think that's so interesting. So, and there's coaches for females too, coaches for girls that teach them how to hook a man and stuff, and they actually have it kind of right, what they do. I've read some of the books and things like that, and they actually do have it right. But again, back to the guys, because I'm talking about guys. So what's the solution to all this pressure from society coming on you, telling you, be like this, be like that, don't show clear intent, take a girl out on 5 dates before pulling her and sleeping with her, whatever it is. All these things society is telling you, what is the solution? What is the answer to it? Well, one, you have to find out for yourself, honestly. You really have to find out for yourself. If you want to find out what clicks with girls and what works with girls, I say take action. Go out and meet girls. I've talked to probably over 5,000 girls, honestly. Probably more than that. Me and my assistant were doing a little exercise, guessing how many girls I've talked to and how many he will have talked to at the end of 5 years of pickup. And the number we came up with was 7,500. My boss, who's been doing this for 8-9 years, he's probably talked to over like 10, 15,000 girls, because we're going out consistently. Even students of mine, I've had a student who's talked to about 150 to 200 girls in a 3-day period. Some guys would say, oh, that's nothing, because they say, I do 200 in one day. Sure, but that's again rapid fire approach, it's not taking any breaks, and often the interactions don't last a long time. But realistically, you can talk to a lot of girls and get some very good results in a short amount of time. So again, taking action, how do you best know about girls and best know about women? By talking to a lot of them, right? So my mom, it's so funny because my mom and my family, they know what I do and they don't really agree with it. And they talk about girls all the time. They're like, girls are not like this, girls are not like that. What you're doing doesn't work. I'm like, okay, well, how many girls have you spoken to in your life? How many girls have you had deep interactions with and been around? Half of the time I'm around girls. I'm always around girls. I watch girls. I observe other friends talking to girls, like girls. So it's like, get reference experience in. Reference experience, I'm going to make a separate video on this, but just to talk about it in this video. Reference experience is what you get when you go out and consistently. And the deeper your interactions are with girls and the longer your interactions are, the more reference experience you're going to have on an everyday basis. So if I go out and I meet like 10 girls and each interaction is like 10 seconds and it's just a rejection, I've gotten very minimal reference experience. If anything, I've just learned maybe how to get a little less rejected, but I keep on getting rejected, so I'm not getting any reference. But if I go on like 10 instant dates and open 10 girls, I've gotten a lot of reference experience from those 10 girls. So it's like on a day, I open 100 girls, almost all are rejections, get one instant date. That's not the same amount of reference experience as you get from 5 instant dates, and one is almost a pull, especially if you're a beginner, right? The longer your interactions are, the more reference experience you're gonna get. So that's one, take action. This is how you know how to keep your mind clear and how to be on your purpose as a man in the world that we live in today that has so many stereotypes and expectations for you to fill as a man. And again, I'm not saying don't fill these expectations because they're good. You should have a great job. You should be making money. You should be productive. But you don't necessarily need these things to make a woman happy or have success with women. There's these girls that meet guys that are super rich, but they'll cheat on them. I have a friend who's gotten a lot of girls to cheat on their husbands with him, and he didn't even have a job for the longest time, right? But how did he do it? Because again, his vibes were there, his inner core as a man. He was happy with himself. He was happy with who he was, and he projected that onto the girls, right? The inner values, the inner core of who you are as a man, and the basic principles of pickup. It's like combining good game with inner values. All of that combined really leads to ultimately a life of abundance, meeting lots of girls and things like that. So talking about number one, and I would say there's a lot of points I could bring up, but I'll just split it into two here. The second point about how you can really know who you are and be on your purpose as a man and fulfill the expectations you want to fulfill and have a life of success with women is really be happy with who you are, honestly. Because I think that the first thing that society will do to you to get you to fit the mold, as it were, is to make you unhappy and uncomfortable with who you are. And this tends to happen a lot, right? I have a friend who's very, very good looking. No, Jesse, I'm not talking about you. I have a friend who's very, very good looking. And he does not pick up, he's a natural, as it were. A lot of guys call him a natural. He's not great with girls at all, in my opinion. He's probably slept with maybe around 100 girls the past 5-6 years. It's okay. But he's not super, super good with girls. Why? Because he doesn't have to. Because he fulfills that good looking expectation. He looks good, so he has to do no work really. But again, the results that he gets are not what he could be getting, and he doesn't meet the same quality girls either. Often the girls he meets and he sleeps with our girls that are settling for him. I've actually been out and I've gamed with him. He hasn't been cold approaching, but I've been out hanging out with him. And whenever I'm out in a social environment, of course, I'm cold approaching. I've been out with him, and girls come on to him all the time. But often when I enter the interaction as well, I don't want to. Well, I kind of do. Sorry for that, Jeff. Sorry. I kind of do. I steal them from him. I steal the girls from him. I'm nowhere near as good looking as him. Look at me. I'm scrawny black kid, right, with glasses. But if we're at a party or something like that, I haven't seen him in a while, but if I'm at a party or something like that, I will take the girls from him because I fulfill what the girls really want, which is like a man who's confident with himself, a man who's happy with himself, who knows what he wants as a man and projects that onto the girl, right? That inner confidence. I'm projecting that onto him, onto the girls, and therefore they're more attracted to me. He has the look, but he doesn't fulfill the brand because he actually isn't super confident with himself. He's used to getting a lot from girls, just getting. He's giving out of himself and who he is and being happy giving out of himself. Not really. So it's all just like whatever's left over, that's what I'll take.
Okay.
So really that summarizes it. This is the second point, you have to be confident with yourself as a man and confident with who you are. There's an instructor that I follow from another company who talks about his past, so I really identify with his story, and he talks about his past, how he was into rock music and stuff like that, and he would hide it and went around girls when he first started to pick up, and then he was just like, hey, I realized this is awesome. Now he jokes about it and tells girls that, right? Me, I'm a huge video game nerd. When I pull girls and they hang out at my place, I get them to play video games with me. I'm like, it's fun. Let's play some Grand Theft Auto, girl. Like, you know what I mean? I'm having so much fun with that, and fun with who I am as a person. So those are the two things. If you really want to defy society standards and be good with girls, have success with women, blazing success with women, while bashing the standards that society puts for you, number one, you need to take action and talk to a lot of girls so you can know what girls actually want, and then you'll realize what to do after that. And number two, really be comfortable with yourself and who you are as a person. How to get there, I could say a lot about that, how to get there. How to become comfortable with yourself. One is meditation. Being in a space by yourself, and if you're religious, prayer, I think, will help as well. Connecting with something that you feel is higher than yourself will really help you be comfortable with who you are. I meditate. And I sit and just in my own headspace. I used to go out with earbuds a lot and listen to music, or call the wingman, my main wing, and we'd wing on the phone, right? But now, what do? I don't do that anymore. I just sit and I don't bring on earbuds at all. I don't listen to music, but I just meditate in the park. I look at the girls around me, I look at the people around me, and I enjoy each interaction, and I enjoy who I am, bringing myself forward. No outside distractions, nothing, no earbuds, no music pumping into my system, not listening to podcasts. Some guys, they may help you, but after a while, you'll see that you're not as comfortable with yourself, right? That's the purpose of soloing, getting comfortable with yourself and creating your own emotions, your own state, right? So that's one great tip that I can give you. Stop adding in a lot of outside distractions. Become very comfortable with who you are, and just being calm by yourself and calm alone. I want to say a quote about solitude. I can't remember what it is. I wish I could, because it's a really cool quote. Maybe I'll put it as a caption below, maybe. But yeah, guys, take action and be comfortable with who you are. These are the two best ways that you can defy society's standards of you and have more success with women. Because again, society standards are not what women actually want. It's not. It really isn't. What society says is not honestly what works. Yeah, guys, and there's so much more I could say on this, but time is running short, and I'm about to go game pimping in the park. Thank you guys for watching. It's your boy Tim, and I will talk to you guys at a later date. Keep pimping.